welcome to another episode of the Alpha Male Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything to get this male population in the United States back on track.
Yes, it's something we've noticed over the last decade or so. The male species is kind of going downhill a little bit. So we would really like to try to get the guys being guys again.
Yes, that is our goal. Well, Dad, with that, what would you like to talk about today?
I was thinking we'd start with one of the more basic things that we touched on a little bit last episode, and that would be diet.
Okay, I think that's a good idea to continue on with that because I feel like that's like a never-ending topic to discuss. There's so many different aspects of diet, and I think it is really, really confusing to people. So with that said, I know last time we talked about, kind of like the basics on what to do if you really want to start to get healthy and get your diet back on track. Whether it's just starting with one meal of the day, being good and then eating, whatever, the rest of the day, getting in the habit of just grocery shopping, as simple as it sounds, making sure your fridge is stocked so you're not having to go to fast food or...
And don't ever go grocery shopping hungry because anything will jump in your cart. Yeah. So always make sure you eat something before you go.
Yeah, it's like a little devil that follows you around the grocery store and comes out when you get into the cookie aisle. But with that, so, okay, if once you kind of did the beginner things, so you started to clean up your diet and you kind of reach a plateau and you're ready for something more, what would you tell someone to do?
And by cleaning up the diet, you know the stuff that you crave, where like Lay's potato chips, you eat one, you gotta have another one, and then another one. And you gotta remember they put stuff in the food.
Yes, they do.
So you become wanting it just like a drug addict. Now you know what they go through, where you crave, and that's where you want to try to limit those things in your household and in your diet. And by the way, when we use the term diet, we really mean an eating adjustment, where you're learning how to make wise choices.
Mm-hmm.
Because a diet means it's going to end after 6 weeks, 10 weeks. Your wedding, you're going your reunion, whatever it may be. We want you to be able to live a normal life and a healthy life, and that's what we're trying to teach you.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's so important to mention because I think so many people just get stuck in this constant up and down. They diet and then they fall off and then they try to make up for everything that they missed while they were dieting.
That's where they always talk about the yo-yo diet. Mm-hmm. You lose 5 pounds, you put 10 pounds back on.
And that's a real thing. And it ruins your metabolism, long term. So it's not just, your metabolism sucks for a little bit. I mean, doing that constantly just wreaks havoc on your body.
Yes, it does. And this is why we would like to teach you how to make wise choices and how to come up with a game plan that you can follow for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's the thing, guys. Everyone wants to hear about the best diet, and there is no magic diet, especially if, now low carb has been proven over and over again. That outbeats every diet there is. However, if you're a carb addict and there's no way that, you need carbs in your diet, there is no reason to give you a low carb diet because you're not going to follow it. And then it's just going to lead to failure. And it's like a disaster. So you have to also, when you're going through trying to figure out what diet or what way of lifestyle eating, I should say, that you want to do, you have to keep yourself in mind. Because I think a lot of people are so desperate that they're just what is it? Just anything that promises me 20 pounds. I'll do it. And it's like, no, you have to think about like your lifestyle. Like if you're running around constantly, like if you have kids, you're coaching them, you have a job, you're constantly on the road, you're constantly traveling. A super restrictive diet is probably not going to be the best thing for you because one, how like you're not going to be able to eat out, which you're going to have to at some point. You're going to have to cook your meals and be super specific, and as soon as you have a busy day, your diet's going to go out the window.
And that's why we always try to teach people to plan ahead. Like right now, if you went to my house and looked in my refrigerator, I have enough food for 6 or 7 meals over the next couple days. Now, all I have to do is reheat them up and they're ready for me to eat. Now, that doesn't mean I can't take my wife out, or in case my daughter ever wanted to take her mom and I out,
No, I mooch off of them like at least once a week.
I'll vouch for them. But anyway, you could go to a restaurant. Most restaurants now have the calories written right on the menu, where you know what you can get away with eating to stay within what you're trying to reach as far as your macros and how many calories you can consume that day. And once again, if you don't make it that day, you blow it for one meal, don't worry about it. Let it go. Get back on the train tomorrow and make it right again.
Yeah, I think that that is such. So many people get so like stressed out about dieting that once they, you know, fall off, they might have like a little mini Twix. And then it's like, oh, I did that and I cheated, so I might as well eat this cake. And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You could have just minimized damage if you're like that. Okay, it is what it is. I had a weak moment and you move forward. But that's not how a lot of people eat nowadays. It's all or nothing.
By the way, if you ate a little Twix and now all of a sudden you're craving cake, that's why you don't have cake in your house.
True.
Because you're not going to hop in your car and go drive down to the store to go do that. You'll end up saying, oh, the heck with it. It ain't worth it.
Well, also though, if you eat a little Twix and then you're craving a cake, like and nonstop sugar, I also think that people need to be aware of the sign. Like that's not normal. Like that means that you just ate drugs. You know what I mean? Like that's what a Coke fiend does. Is when they do Coke, then they want more Coke. You do not ever have that happen with the steak. Like I never eat a steak and go like, whoa, oh my god, I need meat, and like go crazy for the rest of the day. It's like okay, I'm full, cool. Like that is how your body works. So these foods, when all of a sudden you eat one and then like, oh, can't stop eating it or drinking it because there's a lot of shouldn't like liquids and drinks now. It's that should be a sign that this is not okay because there's nothing on this planet that's natural that like I don't even believe natural cocaine is like that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it's because it's mixed with so much stuff. And it's just I don't know. It Okay, Dad. So before we start to get on our dieting rant again, because I feel like we have a lot of those, um, what would you recommend to somebody who has started to clean up their diet, but now is looking for a little bit more? So they're ready to go kind of to the next level. Like maybe they're starting to think about, how much protein am I supposed to eat? How much fat am I supposed to eat? How many carbs? Because I think, there's so many different theories out there on the internet that I think people just don't even know where to start with that.
Well, to start off with, just a quickie, less than every gram of protein and carbohydrate is 4 calories. Every gram of fat is 9 calories. So obviously fat is, we'll say, 2 times more caloric dense than protein or carbohydrate. The Food and Drug Administration,
Which sucks.
yes, and hopefully things will change here now with Kennedy starting to look at everything. But anyway, what I have found with working with people all these years, and just from my own experimentation with myself, if you start off with 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, now, if you weigh 300 pounds, I'm not telling you to eat 300 grams of protein. Look at what weight you'd like to come down to, but make it realistic. Let's say 280. So then try getting 280 grams of protein in to get down to your ideal body weight. So that would be one of my first things. With your carbohydrates, I would try to take those down a little bit lower. Once again, a 300-pound person, maybe take those down to about 250 calories, 250 grams to start off with. And your fat, I would come in with something around 90 grams of fat to start off with. Now, what I would do is split that up amongst 3, 4, 5 meals throughout the day, whatever fits your lifestyle. And then after a couple weeks, and you should weigh yourself in the morning, if you could do it every day or do it every couple days. But this way you can see what's happening. And once again, a lot of times when you lose weight in the beginning, it's water weight, because a gram of carbohydrates holds 4 grams of water in your body. But with looking at it every day, you got kind of an idea what's happening. If the scale's going up, either you don't know how to measure your food very good, or you got a lousy scale.
Well, I do want to point out though that like with the scale, when you say if it's going up, we're not talking about like one day. We're talking about,
No.
yeah, we're talking about like consistently going up. That's not a good trend because your body does, um, you fluctuate so much. And this is why, you said do it in the morning because that's pretty consistent because you can weigh 10 pounds difference between the morning and night. So, as long as you're doing it consistently at the same time to get you a more accurate thing. But like you said, carbs hold more water. Even if you start lifting, your body takes more water to recover your muscles. Like there's different things that can affect it, but you should know if you're putting on weight and or if it's like a little water retention from a lifting workout. I mean, you got to be honest with yourself there.
And another thing I would strongly suggest, put a pair of gym shorts on and take a picture of yourself in the front, from the side, and from the back. One of my clients that Heather and I worked with, when he started out, he was 315 pounds. He's down to 220 right now. And we laugh when he pulls out his old pictures because nobody believes him that he was able to accomplish that. Now, granted, that was over a 3-year time period, but this gentleman is even stepping on a bodybuilding stage, and our purpose isn't to make you bodybuilders, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying he had so much incentive from where he started to where he's at. He just feels like $1 million, and that's what we hope to do with you guys.
Yeah, shout out to Ed.
We won't mention his name though.
Yeah. No, I think that that's very good advice. And then one thing too with how you went through the carbs are like 1 gram of carbs is 4 calories, 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. One thing that I want to point out is that alcohol is 7 calories. And although, it technically does not have, like, there's no nutritional value there, but your body, because everyone always wants to know, like, how does alcohol affect things? It basically goes up to the front of the line on how you burn energy. So if, like, I have, if I was doing shots all night and now I have I don't know, 200 calories of alcohol in me. If I go and run a marathon, I'm burning 200 calories of alcohol off. Zero fat is being burned off no matter how hard I exercise until all of that alcohol is used up.
Very good point.
Yeah, and so that's where, you know, listen, I love my wine, and I don't think I'll ever cut it out of my life completely, but there, you cannot drink consistently. And like the more fit, and I hate to use the word extreme, but like the more in shape you want to be, the less you the more you got to put the booze down. You can't have both. And if somebody tells you you can, they're full of shit. Like you can be fit ish and drink, but you will never, if you have these extreme body goals, like, or want to, lower than 10% body fat, it's not going to happen, especially if you're drinking beer. And men, I know you guys like beer, but that's like the worst thing for you. It's estrogenic. Do you want to?
Which, once again, affects the male hormones, which makes you put body fat on like a woman does around your hips and on your chest and by your backs, where once again, nothing that looks too pleasing on a guy.
No.
But once again, we're not trying to make you bodybuilders or 10% body fat. We're just trying to get you in some semblance of you're happy with your body and you feel like a guy again, where you can do all the things you would like to do.
Absolutely. And I think you just need to, like you said, we're not promoting or trying, think everybody should be, less than 10% body fat. But you need to understand how alcohol plays into that. And it's the more on this side of the spectrum that you want to get lean, alcohol has to go out. And then if you're okay at 15%, well then you can add some alcohol in that you're able to accomplish that.
And since we're talking about drinking stuff, there's a lot of hidden calories in Diet Pop and all these
Yes.
sweet tasting drinks. And what people don't realize, even if it says sugar free, with the different sweeteners they use, it triggers something in your brain to release more insulin, which if you have a lot of insulin being released, it stores a lot of body fat. And once again, that's what we're all trying to get rid of. So be careful falling for, oh, don't worry about it, it's diet Pepsi or Diet Coke, because that doesn't necessarily mean you can drink whatever you want.
Well, also, I read an article not too long ago that there's now like nanoparticles in like Coke and Pepsi and all. And I'm sorry, that's weird. And then they are doing like a merge with Microsoft, and I'm like, what the hell does Microsoft have to do with Pepsi? And then you hear about the nanoparticles, and now it's just like, you know what? This is a little weird. It's just odd. Like, I would have been fine if they want to do a merger, like a business merger together without the nanoparticles. But then when you throw that in, it's like, that's weird. And then there is nothing good about pop. Not nothing. Like, it eats rust off cars. It, I mean, if it's regular pop, it's terrible because of the sugar content. And like you said, with the diet soda is not better, and it changes your like gut microbe. It changes all kinds of things.
Which is the way your body helps digest food.
Well, and then with the different sweeteners, now so far stevia has been proven to be okay. Could that change? Yes. I mean, who knows? We've gone. I feel like we've been around long enough to aspartame was okay, and then that turned out to be crap. Splenda was supposed to be the savior. That was even worse. And then now stevia is obvious. Like there's a lot that makes it different than those other ones, but TBD, I guess, if they find out anything bad about stevia. But so far that one's supposed to be okay. But like aspartame, it's it has effects on your brain. I mean, there's studies that they hid because like with that. Um yeah, put the pop down. And wasn't there somebody too? Didn't you have a student that lost a bunch of weight just by cutting out the pop?
Yeah, he lost over 50 pounds because he used to drink so much pop during the day. The one time we had a talk about how we could get him to lose weight, and we went by just cutting out the soft drinks, and it was amazing how much weight he ended up dropping off because he was going through at least a 12 pack of pop a day.
That's insane. That's crazy.
And I'll tell you, one of the best things for you is drink water because when you drink, it fills you up a little bit. Your body has to process it by running through there, so you burn calories that way also. And you're not putting on any negative calories. And I'm not telling you you gotta drink water 20 times a day or anything else, but just get in the habit when you start to feel a little bit hungry and it's not time to eat, drink some water.
Mm-hmm. And if you need a little flavoring to it, because I know some with some people, to tell them all of a sudden to drink water when they've been drinking tons of pop, that's hard because you're going from sugar nonstop to nothing. Um, you know, Even if you just took like a flavor pack, like find a brand of flavoring that has stevia in it and use it, and then slowly start to wean yourself off of it. Or even like amino acids. So, amino acids are, I think protein is one of the hardest things for people to add into their diet, especially if you tell somebody who's had a horrible diet, like all of a sudden now they have to get in over 200 grams of protein. They're like, you're out of your mind. I've been eating 30 grams, for the last 10 years. So, amino acids are a great, easy way to get your protein intake.
And that's the amino acids your body can't produce on its own. So by taking those, it's helping your body rebuild muscle and all the other tissues in your body that will help you be healthier.
Well, and there's two different types of amino acids. There's essential amino acids, which we think is superior to drinking or eating, whatever you want to call it. And then there's BCAAs, branched chain amino acids. And Dad, correct me if I'm wrong, but like the main difference is branched chains help preserve the muscle mass that you have, but essential amino acids will actually allow you to not only preserve that, but will help you build.
That is correct. The BCAAs do not cover all the amino acids your body can make on its own, where the essentials do cover everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, if you're going to spend your money, get the essential amino acids. Even though BCAAs are a lot cheaper, and the reason for it is they're not complete.
Yeah. Well, and like that leads me to another way to get protein is protein powder. I mean, throwing that in a shake. You can like throw it in some water, drink it as you go.
And I'm going to stop you right there, Heather. Question: and what kind of protein powder do you not want to have if you're a male?
Soy, hands down,
And why is that?
because it's estrogenic and it will lead you on the path to man boobs faster than probably anything.
And if you notice, they put soy protein and soy products like crazy. For all you guys out there, that's something you definitely don't want to do. Stay away from products completely.
Well, I was actually listening to something, I can't remember what I was watching today, but they brought up a good point. They're like, so we ate meat as a society for like just human beings have ate meat for thousands of years, no problems. Then all of a sudden they start messing with our foods. They, introduce soy, blah blah blah. We have all these diseases, and then it's meat that's the problem. And you're like, wait, what? Like it was about seed oils. That's what I was watching about. And but it's so true. It's about soy. It's about seed. It's everything that is man made, which I don't know. I get
which
so
they
mad about
hide
it.
in a lot of products. And that's why it's important, which we will go into one time about labels, just not right now.
Yeah.
But you definitely want to stay away from the oils because they are not man's friend at
Well,
all.
seed oils, not like avocados, good.
Correct.
Um, Macadamia nuts, good. You have olive oil, that's
Olive
good.
oil.
Yeah. It's just like the canola oil, the soybean oil, again, soy. Well, and then like they were talking about like with fast food, they used to fry McDonald's French fries in beef tallow. Good. Now they fry it in soybean oil, which it just goes rancid because they reuse it so many times, and then it's basically like poison that you're and it causes like ton of inflammation, ton.
And inflammation makes your body swell up and holds a lot of fluid where you could gain 5, 10 pounds very easy from having inflammation in your body.
And causes all kinds of havoc on your body too.
Yes, that's something that really has snuck up on a lot of people nowadays, and they don't even realize it. That they're the cause of them having it because of what they eat or put in their mouth.
Absolutely. And I one point I want to make on that is one thing, like especially as you're trying to clean up your diet, and people tend to, if you let's just say you eat good all week, you tend to maybe have a nice little cheat meal or go out somewhere and eat something that's not quote unquote your lifestyle uh, plan, which is fine because you should have that balance. But I think one of the biggest things with that is start paying attention to how that whatever you go to eat makes you feel. Because like with me, I can't eat pizza. I might be able to eat it in Italy because their wheat's a lot different. But I do think it's like it has to do with something with our wheat here that a lot of pizza places use that I blow up like a freaking balloon. That you don't want that because but now if I eat a burger, good to go. Because that's telling you because if I ate pizza, my body gets inflamed for multiple days because it doesn't just go away like that night. It can last up to like a week. You now so if I ate it on Saturday, now I'm swollen until let's say Thursday, then I only have one day that I'm normal, quote unquote, and then I go to eat that shit again on Saturday and I blow up like a balloon. So now you're in this terrible habit. So when you are, decide to go off, plan a little bit, make sure it's with something that your body feels good with because if you keep, you know, poisoning yourself over and over again, you're not going to see the results that you really want to see.
And it's funny when you get away from eating a lot of that stuff and then you do reintroduce it to your body, just what other mention happened to her will happen to you where you'll swell up or you just won't feel right. And that's your body telling you, hey, this ain't so good. Please don't give it to me again. And that's something when you eat it every day, you don't realize how bad you feel and how bloated you are until you get away from that stuff.
Oh, I'm not a huge sugar eater, and I ate probably more cookies the other day than I have in a long time, and it wasn't even a lot. It was like maybe two, but they had a lot of sugar in them, and my heart was beating the entire night. I couldn't. I'm like, oh my god, this is insane, and you realize that like right away. But if you're eating sugar constantly, it just you don't realize that low level of feeling like crap that you deal with every day.
No, I think this is why it's very important that you learn how to clean up everything. And once again, just do it slowly
Mm-hmm.
so it's something you can do because there's only one you, and that's what we try to gear it towards. And you'd be amazed by just making small changes
Mm-hmm.
how you start feeling a little bit better and you feel better about yourself and you're able to do more things that you weren't able to before.
I agree. Well, I think that that's a good place to end for the day.
I would agree. I hope this was helpful to you. And trust me, we will keep bringing things. And we're starting off very basic because that's how we want you to start off. We want you to be successful. This isn't going to work for you in 1 week. This is, like we said, a lifestyle to get you back on track and feeling like a man again.
Yes. Amen to that.
And ladies, this will work for you also.
True.
But
Yes.
we're gearing it towards the guys.
Yes. Because we want to bring masculinity back.
Yes, we do. Thanks for joining us. I hope you join us for our next episode.
Yeah. See you next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.